Hey everybody, welcome to Resistance Book Club. My name is Kita, and this here will be RF Kuang Reads. So sit back, relax, and let's get to it. All right, so funny thing, I was sitting here like a week ago, and I'm like, hold on. I read The Poppy War. Like, did I literally forget to do a video for this? I sure did. Literally forgot to do a whole, I think I thought of doing a series, and then I said, oh no, I read all of them. And then I said I'm gonna have to do a whole thing of it because my video was deleted. And I said, better time than any, right? So yeah, I might as well. And I read pretty much all of her stuff because I don't think she has anything out right now. So with that being said, let's do YellowFace. To me, I feel like any one of these don't even matter. Like, they're just crazy. Like, all of her books are just insane, crazy. But so YellowFace, this here is authors June Hayward and Athena Liu were supposed to be twin rising stars, but Athena's a literary darling. June Hayward is literally nobody. Who wants stories about basic white girls? June thinks. So when June witnesses Athena's death in a freak accident, she acts on impulse. She steals Athena's just finished masterpiece in an experimental novel about an unsung contributions of Chinese laborers during World War One. So what if June edits Athena's novel and sends it to her agent as her own work? So what if she lets her new publisher rebrand her as Juniper Song, complete with an ambiguously ethnic author photo? Doesn't this piece of history deserve to be told, whoever the teller? That's what June claims, and the New York Times bestseller list seems to agree. But June can't get away from Athena's shadow, and emergent evidence threatens to bring June's stolen success down around her. As June races to protect her secret, she discovers exactly how far she will go to keep what she thinks she deserves. With its totally immersive first person voice, Yellowface grapples with questions of diversity, racism, and cultural appropriation, as well as the terrifying alienation of social media. R.F. Kuang novel is timely, razor sharp, and eminently enjoyable. So the listenership for this is 8 hours and 39 minutes, and it is narrated by Helen Laser. Um, just so you know, I did not listen to this. I actually just only read it. And so, yeah, this here I read last year. And oh my God, I think I read it around like May or June or something like that. I was like, what in the world am I reading? Wait, no, I actually did mix. I'm thinking I did a mix. I was able to get the audiobook and then I finished it. So I read the first no, I think I did read the whole thing. One of them I read the first part of the book and then I finished it off by listening to it. But it could have been Yellowface, but I'm not too sure. But anyway, um this drink here, honey, she hit the gate swinging with this book. Yo, I remember I had to stop a few times because June was driving me crazy. June was on a whole nother spectrum. Talk about tone deaf, honey. Oh my God, the cultural appropriation of it all, the racism, everything. I'm like, she, to be honest, she didn't care. Like, she really didn't. She just wanted to be famous. And fame is one hell of a drug. And that's what she had wanted. There is no way that R.F. Kuang said, "Yeah, I want to put this out without any issues." I know that publishing company was like, "No, you need to go in with something else." Nah, this is what I want. And she probably push, push, push. There's no way. Because this here was like spilling all secrets of everything that happened in the that happens in the publishing world, um and the things that go on within the writing community, the author community, as well as social media of it all. Yeah, like this here was a banger. It was a banger. Like it really is good, and I believe it's somewhat of like a satire, but definitely like a really good read. And anytime I feel like I needed a drink after that because she was driving me to drink. This one here needed a moonshine right after. You understand? Um, the pacing of it was good, from the beginning all the way to the end. The characters were great. I love the bickering, back and forth. Oh, even the social media aspect of it was really good. Um, it was like if spilling secrets, like YellowFace should have came out this year of the year of 2024, year of truth, year of Aquarius. We're hitting the ground swinging. Like that's what this here felt like. And but yeah, it was so good. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but it took me a few times where I had to put it down because I'm sitting here reading as a black woman, and this white woman is sitting up here taking someone that's a person of color manuscript that wasn't completely done, taking it for herself, and then changing her whole identity. Like I had to put it down a few times because even like her excuses and everything, man, the way she was justifying it, it made me wonder, like, I wonder how Kwang gets in that mindset to be like, yeah, this is what I think she would say, this character would say, because those things were like you hitting very below the belt with these punchlines. Like they were hidden. They were hidden. Okay. Um but it really made me wonder like how she gets in the mindset that racist talk, the microaggressions, the alienation that of social media aspect. I mean, I guess that one is a little bit easy, because we all go through it. I mean, I don't, but we all go through it. But yeah, I wonder how that goes. But yeah, other than that, she did a really good job with it, though. She really did. That so that one I given it a 4.75, not a 5, because I cannot reread that book ever again. I can't. I can't. It's a great book, but I cannot reread this book ever again. This is like on the lines of there are certain movies and TV shows that I refuse to watch because it's too heavy handed in the sense that I we she was knocking it out, literally knocking it down. I mean, bury it, but it was really good, really good, really good. Next one is Babel, honey. Ooh, child, Babel. I remember this one here, child. All right, so 1828, Robin Swift, Orphan by Calera and Canton is brought to London by the mysterious Professor Lavelle. There, he trains for years in Latin, ancient Greek, and Chinese, all in preparation for the day he'll enroll in Oxford University's prestigious Royal Institute of Translation, also known as Babel. Babel is the world's center for translation and, more importantly, magic. Silver working, the art of manifesting the meaning lost in translation using enchanted silver bars, has made the British unparalleled in power as its knowledge serves the empire's quest for colonization. For Robin, Oxford is a utopia dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge, but knowledge obeys power, and as a Chinese boy raised in Britain, Robin realizes serving Babel means betraying his motherland. As his studies progress, ba- uh, Robin finds himself caught between Babel and a shadowy Hermes society, an organization dedicated to stopping imperial expansion. When Britain pursues an unjust war with China over silver and opium, Robin must decide, can powerful institutions be changed from within, or does revolution always require violence? This book gets me. Oh my God. Listenership for this is 21 hours and 46 minutes, and it is narrated by Chris Lucum Hall and Billy Fulford Brown. Honey, I don't even know what to say. Like this one here, for me, is a 5 star. Um, I read it. I did not listen to it. I think I may listen to it one time. hmm But yo, I remember when I did the video for this, I had to literally sit down on the balcony and just be like, I need to process, I need a drink, I need a spliff, I need all of that. It was given everything for me. And, I know that it was mixed reviews then. Um, yeah, nah, this was touching everything, all the bases for me. The thing with Robin and how it came to be with him, being a translator at translator in Babel at the Oxford University. I mean, just his journey. Now, in the beginning, I was like, yo, I really don't like this kid because he has absolutely no personality. But when you really think about it, of course he doesn't have a personality. Why? Because he's actually on the guardianship of a stranger, and the stranger is really just there to teach him all of the things that he needed to learn for when he puts him in Oxford. So I was like completely not flabbergasted, but I really kind of wasn't surprised that it went the route that it did. But the ending, that ending did something for me. I think it was just the way that whole scene came about, and just that whole scene. Oh my God, that whole scene. Just the last act alone. But all the way till we get to the very end, oh my God. Like he really wasn't backing down. Like he was there to make a statement. But I love the fact that he questioned it a few times. And in the end, he realized, like, nah, I really believe I know what I really need to do. He was just scared that it was just going to fall on deaf ears and they will be back to the way things were before. And that really was just weighing heavy on his soul. That's why I think I took to it so personally, because to have that pressure of that, oh my God. And literally, like with all the events that happened prior to him even making these, decisions, and it wasn't rational decisions. Like he literally sat there and was grappling with, you know, what to do. But in his head, he's like, I already know what I need to do, but it's just the whole point that if I do this, would this work? You know what I mean? Instead of just doing it and not getting the results that he wanted, but what the whole university is in need of, and Britain and China. So yeah, it was very good, man. That joint is good. That joint was good. Like I now this one here, as much as I would probably put this in book that I don't want to read, I probably would just listen to it. Yeah, because it was just so good, and I can actually revisit that book back. Yeah. So, oh, child, it was so good. It was so good. But anyway, 5 star. But I just remember like, yo, Earth Quan, like, what, girl? What are you doing to me? Like, don't do this to me. Don't. Like, I feel like my whole inside, my soul was hurt. Everything. Oh my God, that thing made me feel in ways that I didn't think I would feel for a book, but it did. That's very rare because I believe there is, yeah, there is another book that does get me feeling that way. And that one I have reread like multiple times, and it's still giving me the same feels every time. Literally do. Yep. All right, next one. All right, so this one here will be a trilogy. So we're doing the Poppy War, and let's read the synopsis. A brilliantly imaginative talent makes her exciting. Oh, this is like, let me skip that. Um, when Ren aced the Keiju, the Empire Y test to find the most talented youth to learn at the academies, it was a shock to everyone. To the test officials who couldn't believe a war orphan from Rooster Province could pass without cheating. To Ren's guardians who believed they'd finally be able to marry her off and further her criminal enterprise. And to Ren herself, who realized she was finally free of the servitude and despair that had made up her daily existence. That she got into Synagogue, the most elite military school in Nikon, was even more surprising. But surprises aren't always good. Because being a dark skinned peasant girl from the South is not an easy thing at Synagogue, targeted from the outset of rival classmates for her color, poverty, and gender, Rin discovers she possesses a lethal, unearthly power, an aptitude for the nearly mythical art of shamanism. Exploring the depths of her gift with the help of a seemingly insane teacher and psychoactive substances, Rin learns that gods, long thought dead, are very much alive, and that mastering control over those powers could mean more than just surviving school. For a while, the Nakara Empire is at peace. The Federation of Mujin, I think it's Mujin, still lurks across the narrow sea. The militarily advanced Federation occupied Nakan for decades after the first Poppy War, and only barely lost the continent in the second. And while most of the people are complacent to go about their lives, a few are aware that a third Poppy War is just a spark away. Rin's shamanic powers may be the only way to save her people, but as she finds out more about the god that has chosen her, the vengeful phoenix, she fears that winning the war may cost her humanity, and that it may already be too late. The listenership for this is 19 hours, 27 minutes, and it is narrated by Emily Wu Zeller. Um, this one here was a 5 star. Like, it was literally a 5 star. Like, I loved it. I loved the journey. We start off from the very beginning. Her being with her guardians and, going to the school, um, meeting the teacher that goes ahead and trains. It was very delicately paced, and rightfully so, considering that it's a trilogy. So I loved every aspect of that pacing. That writing was impeccable. I couldn't believe it. Like, I don't even think I've ever seen a writing like that where it's just like the pacing, the flow of it was just elegantly, like strategically placed, considering of what I read in the second and the third book. But definitely, sorry, definitely, you know, checked all the boxes. You know, you're trying to understand who Ren is. You have to start her from the very beginning. And then who is she to become, later on? That's how you're supposed to do it. Um, I love the journey. I really did. I loved it. I loved everything about it, all the way down to the powers. And then we didn't even really like scratch the surface in there, which knowing that there was going to be more to come in the second and third book. Um, yeah, so you're there for her beginnings. You know what I mean? Like this here is her beginnings. Um, we didn't really stay too much of in where she was living at before because really she just wanted to leave. Everything just, she's tired of being poor. Like she just can't do it. And at first I was like, Dad, we didn't even really stay too long in this though. But I'm like, all right, but I get the pacing of it. You want to keep it going. Remember what I said, strategically placed, okay? Like literal paste. And I appreciate it. I really did. Because at first I was like, I'm not gonna, because I didn't want to rate the book just yet because I wanted to see how the second and the third one was gonna fare out. So I just said, all right, let me just wait and then see how, both of them happen. Now, with that being said, let's go on to book two, which is the Dragon Republic. Um, the war is over. The war had just begun. Three times throughout its history, Nakan has fought for its survival in the bloody Poppy Wars. Though the third battles had just ended, Shaman and Warrior Rin cannot forget the atrocity she committed to save her people. Now she is on the run from her guilt, the opium addiction that holds her like a vice, and the murderous commands of the fairy Phoenix, the vengeful god who has placed Rin with her fearsome power. Though she does not want to live, she refuses to die until she avenges the traitorous empress who betrayed Ren's homeland to its enemies. Her only hope is to join forces with the powerful dragon warlord who plots to conquer Nakan, unseat the unseat the empress, and create a new republic. But neither the Empress nor the Dragon Warlord are what they seem. The more Ren witnesses, the more she fears her love for Nakan will force her to use the Phoenix's deadly power once more. Because there is nothing Ren won't sacrifice to save her country and exact her revenge. Her vengeance, sorry. Terrible at reading. 23 hours and 46 minutes of listenership and still narrated by Emily Wu Zeller. It was good. Like, it was great. It was great. I'm trying to remember what rating did I give it because it's a sequel. So the sequel you're given, one thing I do have to say in this sequel is definitely detail oriented, detail focused, because everything now we're getting into the nitty gritty as to how this third poppy war is about to pop off. And with that being said, it's nothing compared because I thought, wow, I thought the first one was detailed, but nothing compared to how the second one is like info dump in a way. And it's great. only because it's paced in a way where you're not getting heavily info dump. It's just more of this is the story. That's why I didn't want to use info dump. That's why I said it's more detail focused in a way of telling a story of that, yo, like, joint is, this war is popping off. Like, this war is popping off. So now, with that being said, with Ren, you would think she done got stuff together, but lo and behold, I love the fact that she has so many flaws in here, and it's, her just trying to be good in the first one, only for her to have gone through grief and loss and dealing with other enemies that now see her powers is crazy. It's crazy. And I love where she's not holding back, but technically she is, because she really just doesn't, she wants to fight the war, but I think she's also seeing, is there a way out of this? Is there not? That type of thing that she's like grappling in her mind. And then, we get to see more of the Dragon Warlord, get to see more of the Empress, and, just when she thought like things, oh, this will be easy, nah, there's still some more stuff. Like, it's not easy, honey. It's not. Um, I love the visualization of the phoenix. I love that because I did get that in the first book, also in this second book too. I love how it's just playing with her mind. I love the fact that she is on opium, but there's a reason why she's on opium. Like, there's a reason for her being in this addiction. Um, Not to say like it's good, but there's a reason why she ended up being addicted to opium. And just trying to hone in more on her powers, but it keeps getting wild, but she is holding it together in a way. But yeah, everything, child, this book, I believe I gave this like a 4.75. Again, love the fact that this here is definitely a sequel for sure, because that's how sequels are. So you definitely is getting that. Um, I'm just thinking, I'm trying to figure out as to why I gave it a 4.75, because I believe there was something, it might have just been the fact that it was detail centered, but it helped. But I think I was too hung up on the first book and how that was like from start to finish. I believe I believe so. But I'm not too sure. But anyway, let's go on to book 3. So book 3 is The Burning God. And this here says, after saving her nation of Nikan from foreign invaders and battling the evil Empress Sudaji in a brutal civil war, Fang Runen was betrayed by allies and left for dead. Despite her losses, Rin hasn't given up on those for whom she has sacrificed so much, the people of the southern provinces, and especially Takani, the village that is her home. Returning to her roots, Rin meets difficult challenges and unexpected opportunities. While her new allies in the Southern Coalition leadership are sly and untrustworthy, Rin quickly realizes that the real power in the lies with the millions of common people who thirst for vengeance and revere her as a goddess of salvation. Backed by the masses and her southern army, Ren will use every weapon to defeat the Dragon Republic, the colonizing Hesperians, and all who threatens the shamanic arts and their practitioners. As her power and influence grows, though, she will be strong enough to resist the Phoenix's intoxicating voice, urging her to burn the world and everything in it. The listenership for this is 23 hours and 47 minutes. And last one is, again, narrated by Emily Wu Seller. And oh my God, honey, this here, I loved it. It was a 5 star. Like, it was a 5 star. I believe, like, I'm trying to figure out why did I give, because I may just end up changing it. I mean, I really probably will. And I'm trying to figure out as to why. But I usually let books process, over time. But anyway, let me talk about this one and then we'll get into the other parts. Burning God, so good. Definitely ended the way it needed to end it. But this time I was ready for her. I was ready for her because, I got through Babel and then I was like, I'm ready for you. And YellowFace. I was ready for this. So, but in the end, I mean, I still had a moment, a silent moment. Um, but I love everything. The pacing of it, she knocks it out of the park with the pacing. Also too, Rin's journey is nothing to be like inspiring to be. This is just her journey, and it's like, okay, Rin is telling her story. And just for you to see how things have come about and what she is grappling with and what she needs to do with the Southern Army and the because I don't think it was just that. I think she had a couple of people behind her to help her through with this with the war. So dealing with that, dealing with her opium addiction, and dealing with her phoenix that just keeps bothering her every time, it was literally paced beautifully. So remember when I was saying like book one was just like very strategically placed? It definitely was, because there were certain parts of the book that actually do come back up again in the second and the third one. And I thought that that was actually pretty wonderful because then we get to see, and you kind of get that understanding as to why we didn't spend so much time in the beginning. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, so definitely it was a 5 star read for me. So with that being said, I mean like the whole trilogy is a definite 5 star read, and I can see why it's a classic. I can see why. I can actually reread this whole trilogy again. Um, but I did remember, I think that's why I gave the 4.7, because it felt like the second one was just running a little too long, and that was probably because of the detail focused in there. All the details that was happening, and it still didn't feel like I was done with it. But the third one, we was hitting the ground running, we was moving, and that's exactly how the third one is supposed to go, only to give it a full circle moment. And that full circle moment happens. I can see she has a thing for that. And so yeah, it was definitely great. Great. Now, with that being said, let's talk about the author. R.F. Kuang, amazing writer. Hands down. Like, she's very smart. Like, you can see it in her writing. She's, yeah, her intelligence is out of this world. She definitely knows what she's doing, because all three of these works are completely different, and but they definitely, once she's honed in on something, she takes it and just like soars with it. And that's one of the greatest things that I do love about her works. I love about her writing. She knows how to pace it, whether it's YellowFace, Babel, or the Bobby Ward series. Is very strategically paced, where sometimes you don't really worry about how many pages. It's just, you're just trying to get to, get to the end, like what's gonna happen. So she gives me that. And just her writing is just hella smart. Another one, I believe there's someone else like that, but I can't think of it. But yeah, it's like very, very smart writing. Very smart, intelligent writing for sure. And I appreciate her works because Man, it's so long since I've read something like that. Like, so long since I've read something like that. So, writing her character developments, she's crazy with it. Like, you just feel like you're following this person until the very end. Um, the atmosphere around it, I can definitely picture myself in every single aspect of it. She very good with side characters. Um Not so much as like they need a characterized development, but more so you know the reason why they there, what they doing there, and that is that. Sometimes that's all you need just to kind of push the story along, and that's that. Um the logic behind all of her stories definitely there and definitely executed, because you have one where it's about writing and taking someone's identity to someone who is desperate to get out of poverty to be at this military school, and then you have another one who is an orphan who gets turned into a puppet pretty much for a school. So she knows what she's doing and she executes it very well. And whether it needs to have, you know, a standalone or multiple books, she does it very well. With that being said, I've enjoyed every single one of her stories, and she is definitely an auto buy for me. So yeah, I can't get enough of her. But yeah, I don't know if she has anything else coming out, but yeah, I'll be ready for when she does. And with that being said, this is the end of the video. So let me know down in the comment section if you have read any of her books, if you liked any of them, and yeah, or didn't like any of them. Tell me why. I don't know. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. I'll comment down, and this is the way. Peace.